Nebraska at USC. USC is currently an 8.5-point favorite, at least where I look. 51.5 is the over under right now. And I'll just cut right to the chase, Mason. Look, Nebraska's looking for um, bowl entry, right? And they need it bad. They need those extra practices. They need all that stuff. I think they're going to be able to get a chance to get there, but um, this is a tough matchup for Nebraska, bud. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not sure Nebraska's going to be able to muster much on the ground here, and that's a problem. That's going to be a problem in this football game. Um, some of the stats, would surprise you. The strength for this offense is passing the football, right? For Nebraska. And I think they'll be able to do that. They're going to be able to get some yards through the air, and they're going to be able to score a little bit. But the real strength of this Nebraska team is that defensive line. That's how they were able to hang in there against Ohio State, cause a lot of havoc. Well, what if I told you USC is top 25 in the country in tackles for loss allowed and sacks allowed? So, and then not to mention, what if I told you that USC for the year is averaging over a yard more per rush than what Nebraska is? This is a much more efficient rushing offense. And I don't know, man. Nebraska's got to go all the way across the country. I put this thing through a model earlier. One of our little secret models, right? Not really, is one I found on the internet, or Mason did and told me about. The model spitting out more like a 12-point victory for USC in this game, right? So I don't know. I don't go totally based on models. You've got to look at who have played, things like that. But I don't like this for Nebraska. I think this is a bad spot, and I think USC's got a chance to win this sucker by 10 or so. The model was projecting that Nebraska only spits out. Something's going on with my mic today, guys. I'm sorry. Y'all let me know in the chat if you can hear. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's good now. It went out for a minute, but we're good.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. That was wild. I think this place is haunted. But anyway, I think this is a bad spot. I think y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. I don't like this for Nebraska here. Now, the only thing I think maybe coach can get him rallied for getting that 6th win, getting over the hump. Nebraska's got to get to 6, but I don't think they could do it here. Give me USC in this one.
That's interesting, Mark. Interesting line there. I think going into this game, I thought that it would be at least closer to, I would think it would be under a touchdown. So USC at minus 9.5. I don't really see that, considering the extra firepower that Nebraska is going to come with in this football game, just trying to find that 6th win. I mean, USC, they're in a similar situation, sitting at 4 wins, so they got to find 2 wins somewhere. So they're definitely not going to be unmotivated by any stretch. But for this football game, I mean, I'm looking at what's surprising to me is that USC's defense has really held up pretty well this year. As a whole, in particular, their rush defense is what I was trying to get at. But Nebraska has not been a good running football team. So I think that's the matchup. If you tell me that USC wins this football game, I think it's going to be because Nebraska is not able to run the football, and they've got a freshman quarterback out there who's trying to pick apart a defense that's been pretty bad in the passing game. Make no doubt about it. But Dylan Raiola has had his fair share of mistakes this year. That is for damn sure. And then you look at on the opposite side here, it's kind of the same identity for these defenses. Nebraska's been really good at stopping the run, better than USC at stopping the run on defense, but not as good against the pass. And honestly, they've also been better at stopping the pass than USC has. But I like USC's ability to pass the football more with a more experienced quarterback in Miller Moss, and definitely better weapons on the perimeters for USC. Namely, Deuce Robinson, Zachariah Branch, I like the tight end there. I I don't know, man. I don't feel like Nebraska could win this football game. I don't think that they will. They can certainly. I don't think that they'll win this football game. They've got to travel all the way to the West Coast. We've seen these long distance, um, you know, uh, these teams that have to travel long distances struggling in these football games. I think you see more of the same here for Nebraska going all the way to USC. But I don't. From a betting perspective, I kind of like Nebraska and the points. I'd like to see if this game gets up to 10 or 10.5, and then I would like to side with Nebraska in that. But I'm with you. Give me USC to win this football game when it's all said and done. Wouldn't be surprised to see a cover. But Nebraska, once again, just looking for that 6th win for how many years in a row now, Mark? 3 or 4 at this point that they haven't gone bowling. Which is a shame. Is kind of a fall from grace for this Nebraska team that we thought was going to be pretty good with Dylan Raiola starting the year like he did. But now we're seeing those freshman mistakes come up, and we're seeing a USC defense that's playing pretty good football, I think, considering where they were in 2023. Maybe that's the difference in this football game, but give me the Trojans in this one to win it. Not sure about the cover there, though.